winner 50,000 naira. And is also going to perform at all the major comedy shows in Lagos. That includes Laughs and Jams, that includes Rhythm and Blog, and we still have to talk with Mr. Upper Williams. If he's convinced with this young man, he'll get the franchise to perform at the Night of 1,000 Laughs, which is one of the biggest of all.
Program on TV, it's Box Magazine, and I'm the presenter today. My name is Seyilaw, this is the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I have with me here, being Maureen. How are you doing?
This guy's taking over my job. Okay, yes. My name is BINBO and it's Bimbo. And I'm in your face as usual, but not alone this time. I'm at the Excess Lounge in Ikorodu. This is telling you that something marvelous can come out of Ikorodu. This is one of them. I say laughter is the best medicine. My guest is the best doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my friend accompanying. Yes, accompanying. Seyilaw himself. How are you, sir?
You just called me a doctor. You should have remained that way.
Okay, Dr. Seyilaw.
Yeah.
How do you do?
I'm very fine. It's good to know that I've been healing people over the years, and we're still keeping it strong. Yeah.
Glory to God. Oh, thank you,
After a
Father.
wonderful treatment of laughter.
Yes. This is far from perfect. This is wonderful. I've been to bars, I've been to lounges, but this is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I think you should come here. Mokolo for free. So, you know.
That is good that you can do that for me.
Yes, that's what friends do, you know.
Yeah.
So tell me, where did you get this idea of this lodge? Where did it come from? Is it the in thing with comedians, or it just came from passion? I want to know what's up.
Well, as a comedian, I've come to understand that the entertainment industry has its up and down. And so I decided that aside from comedy, what else can I do? And you know, I came up with different ideas. I thought of buying landed properties, and possible if there is money, I'll build houses and probably rent and do all sort of stuff, all sort of things. And then I also thought, what is that thing that I can do comfortably without really having too much distraction from my comedy job? And I thought, oh, if you have a lounge and a lounge where people can come relax, and probably you introduce the comedy stuff in one of the nights, you won't be strained away from your job, and then you can also easily manage it. Even when you're far, you know that you are capable and all that. And I said, oh, come on, let's do something like that. And I have different places in mind. I have the island in mind, I have Syria in mind, I have Ikeja in mind. But then I have to do a lot of visibility study, And then Ikorodu became the first, because I live in Ikorodu and I discovered that entertainment life in Ikorodu is a little bit on the downside. And I think with my popularity, I can boost the entertainment life there, and then we can change people's orientation about what clubbing is all about. So, there we are.
Please let me come again. I stay very close to him. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's my career. Thank you very much.
It's alright.
So, with this idea birthed, and then with you doing something nice, I've seen you in a lot of things. You've been endorsed now. This is Honoka Water, as in that's the definition. So how do you merge all these things together? Being endorsed, being a comedian, being an husband, and all. How do you merge it together without stressing yourself?
Stress is everywhere, really. But then if you're in the job of laughter, you should be able to understand that you have to be able to manage stress. And if you notice, I haven't been out of the house today. I give myself the necessary rest when needed, and I try as much as possible to go for checkup as often as I can during the year. And also, I've learned to be very happy. And so that when you're happy, you're happy. And then you have to create that wellness mentality inside of you, which is something that I try to do perfectly well. And talking about endorsements, being a husband, being a comedian, being an entrepreneur and all that. I think we are human, and our ability to multitask is something that it's very, very, very rare. You know, God has just given us that ability to be able to do different things in one body. And most especially if you are not really stressing your brain too much, you're not going out of line, you're not a comedian and at the same time try to be a banker, you know, it's kind of far. But then other duties that you think that you cannot really perform with ease, you try to pass it on to other people to do it for you. So it's not about me being everywhere trying to solve every problem. I have people who work for me, and once they are dependent and reliable, it gives me enough time to rest. I'm having fun.
Yeah, of course it is having fun. So now let's get serious. I've seen you or I've read your story from being the winner of AY Open My Comedy Show to being a brand, to being someone that people would respect, someone that you would pass and then people would be like, oh God, you pass. You know that kind of thing. Yes, boss.
Oh God, madam.
She does say so and does it. So tell me, how does it feel? And then what's the success story? We want to hear. I want you to inspire the Nigerian youth that's giving up, you know, especially with this ASU strike and all. And I want you to inspire Nigerians at large.
I want to say something. Every success that is without a story is not a success. That is the truth. And every success, I will always tell people, start with the will, the self-will, and that great words of determination, you know, to succeed. Recently, let me tell you, recently I started a series on my BlackBerry, Facebook, Twitter, and all this stuff. I started a series of trying to inspire people about my success story, talking about things that I've done, that have worked for me over the years. And I can just tell you something. After my secondary school education, because I didn't grow up with my parents, you know, my mom was in her home, and then my dad was over there, and I had to live with an uncle, you know, moving from one place to the other. I was in the boarding house all through my primary school education, you know, and my junior secondary school was also in the boarding house. I was at the State Government College, formerly Unity Secondary School in the Terrace. Then I came to Lagos from a senior secondary school education, Methodist Boys High School. And after I finished that, my mom had some financial problems, you know, and she had to relocate back to Nigeria. And I had to pass through one of the most difficult phases of my entire life. You know, I remember there were times I had to go to my elder brother and myself. We had to go to under the terminal bridge to fish for us to eat. You know, that is one of those stories. You know, and I just look at those things now, and I just want to say, oh, thank God I passed through this stage, because they've inspired my determination to achieve success. You know, I remember there was a time I was also selling fishes with my mom. Yeah, I was selling fishes with my mom. I used to go to Makoko. I was after the terminal bridge, because we stay on this other side of the terminal bridge. Makoko was on the other side. We were staying at Adopter Street. I had to cross the terminal bridge, go to Makoko, take like 2 cartons of mackerel. That's kote. And for those people who don't kote, the small one, I had to take like 2 cartons, that is like 40 kg on my head, cross the terminal bridge back to Adopter Street, wash the fish, put salt and flour, fry, and then
sell it.
My mother do something. Sometimes at some point I would probably want her to relax and just take up that responsibility, knowing that she's old and all that. And we were doing that. Then we included rice selling, and then my brother later on, I remember I had to do bricklaying job, you know. I had to go to building sites where I was usually very funny on the site, you know, trying to carry sand from one place to where you mix with cement. Then there is what we call filling. house feeling, you know, when the ground is still up and all that. You feel with broken block, then you feel with the red sand, and then you now feel with the sharp sand. Before we now do the cementing and all that, then you carry block.
What is coloring it?
Block. And when you know, when you do that work, when it's time for you to have a break, you don't go and eat rice. You eat things that are very heavy that can move your spirit. Things that can edify the strength that is inside of you to become more agile. That is when you eat yam and beans with bread. Mix everything together, yam, beans, bread, macaroni. Everything has to go somewhere. When you eat one of that, you drink enough water till the close of work. You will never get tired. You know? And after that, my brother started a business center at the radio hospital, which he handed over to me. And so from there, comedy found me. Comedy found me in the sense that a cousin of mine, who was a member of a music group called Part1, came around and was like, you always make us laugh. You know, people are making money from this thing. And I was like, making money, what is about me? They make it laugh. It's very money that they make. And then he said, and while we were talking, I said something that really made him laugh. And he said, kneel down, let me pray for you. And he put his hand on my shoulder like, if you make me laugh, you will make president laugh. You will make these people laugh. And he said all this stuff, and I was just saying, amen, 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 you know. And from there he said, if we're going to perform at churches, one thing we love to do is, you will come with us. When they introduce us on stage, you go on stage, crack a joke or two, then we introduce us. And that was how comedy started from me. I did that at the first church, and I had people laughing. I didn't even know what it means to be a professional comedian. But then, I don't know how I've been able to overcome stage fright and all that, because I've been doing all this stuff when I was in secondary school. But then I never thought I was going to be a comedian. I wanted to be a medical doctor. That was what I wanted to do. So, but then I was just being myself. I tried to do people laugh. And from there, somebody saw me and said, oh, we're doing something in my church. Will you come and perform? And yeah. I went to the church. They agreed to pay me 700 naira. And after my performance, they brought 500. I almost fought with the new pastor. After we prayed, come back. You know, I almost fought with the new pastor. And then I met the Maker Smith from there, who introduced me to this church, you know, and I performed at this church. Let me tell you one of the significant things that happened when I met the Maker Smith. He invited me for a program in his church. And I remember getting to his church, and because my trousers, you know, those trousers that, not that we don't want to touch your shoe, but because of the Michael Jackson lifestyle that has enveloped the trouser, they decide to jump above your ankle, you know. And I was wearing palm slippers with the palm already gone, only the slippers were there. And then some of the organizers, you know, those guys that organize the show, some of them said, no, our church to spoil these guys. No, we need push person, not this kind of person, and we plan our stage. And I remember helping me to look for a shoe that I could wear. He collected a shoe from Exor. I always mention that guy. He collected a shoe from Exor. He's a comedian now. And the guy, the shoe was tight, and I remember I had to just wear the pants that I wore. And then they said, no, I know this kind of person will perform our church. Our church is push back this guy. But eventually they all said, okay, let's use it to start the show. And they introduced me on stage, and I went to perform. And believe me, I had everybody in the church on their feet by the time I finished my performance. They were all standing, clapping. Jerry, who was the guest comedian that day, ran on stage, held me on stage, and I was saying, man, this is a raw talent that is waiting to explode in the Nigerian comedy industry. And he introduced me to AY. And AY told me he was coming up with a concept that he called the AY's Open Mic Comedy Competition. He gave me the form free of charge because I didn't have money to buy the form. And I became the first one. And the story today is what I call my success. Oh, sorry, I got my thought.
But that was really inspiring.
I would have given you, but don't worry.
I've heard stories about people move from grace to grace, about people climb up the ladder of success. This doesn't just feel distinct. This is extraordinary. This is a man that is not just determined. This is a man that has found grace, like you would say. And that he has shown that living a life of success is not perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, Seyilaw is truly the doctor of comedy. Sign out.
Good job.